Now this is the original bag. I'll put a picture of the yarn label from the yarn that I used to make this. I don't have that label anymore, so it'll be a screenshot from my previous video where I showed this bag. The yarn colorway was Blueberry Hill. I believe I used a 6mm to make this one. And to make this one, this is the same thing, just different color. Requested by my lovely subscribers, my YouTube fam. Alright, so this is what you'll see me make in this video. It's just a replica of the blue one, but for this one I used Red Heart with Love yarn. This is what I have left from one ball, and the colorway is Lemon Drop. Yeah, I thought it worked up really nice. I used a 6mm, and for the flower I used a 7mm. The flower looks a little smaller, well, quite a bit smaller than this one. I actually had doubled the yarn. I had a sparkly yarn in there, so that's probably why this one's smaller. I didn't double the yarn. Alright, so let's get started. Now this little purse measures a little less than 8 inches wide, and it is roughly a little bit more than 8 inches tall. So you want to make your chain, if you want to make the same size purse here, you want to make your chain 16 inches long, because this purse is going to get made in a rectangle shape. So from here down, and then you're going to fold it over, and then you're going to sew it on the sides. So let's make a chain that's 16 inches. Now it doesn't have to be in any particular count, just whatever you like. Oops. Okay, so let's start with our chain here. Oh, it's yarn is like elastic. It just snapped right out of my hands. Alrighty, so this is a 4-weight yarn. I'll let you know how many chains I made when I come back. Alright. Alright, so I made I made 50 chains. And it measures about 16 inches. So now what we're going to do is start the first row. We're going to just make a single crochet in the first stitch. And then we're going to make a double crochet in the next one. Single crochet in the next, double crochet in the next, and that's how we're going to do this row. Single crochet, alternate between single crochet and double crochet. Okay, single crochet and double crochet. I'll meet you at the end of this first row. Okay, I'm at the end of the row, and I have two stitches left. And so this one was a single, and then I'm going to put a double, and then a single. If you have a different stitch count than I do, and your second last one ended up being a single, go ahead and put a single in the end. We're always going to end and start each row with a single. Okay. So chain one, turn your work, put a single into that single, because we're starting and ending each row with a single crochet. Okay, so our next stitch was a double, so we're going to put a single in the double. And then we're going to put a double in the single. And then a single in the double. What I look for is this big space. That's where a double would go, into all those big spaces, because that's your single crochet. So double, single, double, alternating, single, double, and we'll just keep alternating like that, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now we're coming to the end of row 3, and I put a double crochet in that last stitch. I have 2 stitches left, so naturally a single crochet would go into the next stitch. And then remember I said we're going to end and begin with a single crochet, so we'll just put another single crochet in that very end stitch. And chain 1. Turn your work, start with a single crochet. And then this next one was a single crochet, so we're going to put a double crochet in there because we're alternating again. Double, single, come on, double, single, double, and continue on with this until your piece is, I believe I said it was about 8 inches. Should have written it down. It's close to 8 inches wide. And then when you have your piece 8 inches, then you're going to take your whole piece here and you're going to fold it over. You're going to fold it over like that. So it's going to be 8 inches. Then you're going to sew this side closed and sew this side closed. But I'll show you how I do that when we get there. But yes. So your 16-inch piece, fold it in half. This is the top of your purse. And this is the bottom. All right, so continue making rows until you get to the desired width of your purse, which mine was almost 8 inches. And I'll see you when we get there. So when you have your bag made into a rectangle, you're just going to fold it over like this. Make sure you leave a long tail, so that's for sewing in. You want to sew your seam, is what I mean. Okay, this is how I sew my seams. Now, even up the edge as close as you can get it. How I sew my seams is I don't go through both loops. I go through the loop that's closest to me and then the loop that's farthest away from me on the other side. And it will create an invisible seam. Kitty cat hair there. Okay, the one that's closest to me and then the one that's furthest away from me. You just go back and forth like that. And make sure you're on the wrong side of your purse. Whichever side you think looks best is going to be the outside. So this is how it works up. All right, so just continue on with that and do the other side as well. And I'll see you after I'm done that. Okay, now I've turned my bag right side out, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a single crochet trim around the top of it. So put a slip stitch on your hook, pull it through a space, chain one, and then go right back into that space with a single crochet. Keep going along like that. Just makes a nicer edge. And I'm just using a solid white to do this as like an accent color kind of, or yeah, something like that. So all the way around with a single crochet. Space them out as evenly as you can. Okay, so that's how it's gonna look. Now when you get to the end of your trim, just slip stitch it into that very first single crochet you made. Chain one, and then you can pull your yarn, cut it off, and then sew it in later. Okay, so that's our little edging around the top. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the straps. Okay, now we're going to make the straps. I have one strap made already. This is what it looks like. And it measures about 17 inches long. And with the 4-weight yarn and using a 6mm, I crocheted 55 chains. So however number of chains you do, make sure you write it down because you have to make the two straps the same lengths. Okay, and leave ends for sewing it on. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the yarn that I made the purse from. And then I'm going to go around it with the white yarn. So make your slip knot. Mine will be a chain of 55. When I have the chain done, I will meet you back here. Now I've made my chain of 55, and I'm going to put an edging around it with just the plain white. So I put a slip knot on here. Just gonna put that on my hook. Pull it through that last loop I made. I left a long tail for sewing it onto the purse. I'm going to chain one. And then I'm going to go right back into that. Let's see. Into the second, not the hook, not this loop, but the next one. Just going to go into that with a single crochet, and I'm going to do single crochets all along. Let's see, where's my next one? Pull this a little tighter. Okay, single crochets all along in every chain. And then I'll show you what to do when we get to the end of this round. All right, so now we're at the end of making all those single crochets. So I put one in the last stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one in there because we're going to go around the corner. Okay, so I put another one in there. And then I'm going to put a third one in there. Now, when you get onto this side, you don't want to really go through both loops. Just grab the outside loop and go through that one. That way it exposes the color more. Because if you go through, say you go through both loops, it's not going to show as much color as this one does. So just go through the outside loop with a single crochet all the way to the end. See how the yellow's showing up nicely there? And it, I think it just gives it a nice pattern. Okay, so keep doing that till you get to the end. Okay, now we're at the end of this, the end of the other end. So I've already put a single crochet in the last stitch, so I'm going to put another one. Then I think I'm going to put another one. So 3 to go around the corner. And then we're going to look for the first single crochet we made and just do a slip stitch in there. There's a slip stitch, and I've already made a long tail, so I don't need that long of a tail on this one, and I'll just sew that in. So there, our 2 straps are done. So the way we're going to connect them, well, this could be the front if you want kind of a funky looking strap, or this one. So I'm going to turn it this way. So we're going to sew it there, and then make sure your strap is not twisted. And then we're going to sew it on the other side, kind of evenly apart like that. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to get my needle here. My yarn needle or darning needle, whatever you like. And put it through there. Okay, now we're just going to sew it on. So I'm just going to go through the other side. And just put a few stitches just to hold it there. I was going to say foot a few stitches. Put a few stitches. I could have made this end a little longer. That's okay. And then just turn your purse. Well, look inside your bag and okay. This is a little short. Let me see. I'm just gonna put a knot if your end is a little short, put your darning needle in the fabric first before you thread it. And I just wet my fingers to put the fibers all together. I know it's yucky. As long as you have your hands clean, it's okay. Maybe trim off those scragglers. Come on, baby. There we go, we're through. And then you can just pull it through. Yeah, easier said than done, right? Just pull it through and then cut it off. And then we'll do the same on the other end of the strap. And then the other strap will go on the other side the same way. And the next thing is going to be the flower. Now we're going to make the flower. This is just plain old white yarn that I'm going to be using. I don't know what brand it is. It's just left over in my stash. I'm going to use a 7mm hook. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a magic ring. And then when we pull this tight, it'll be long enough to sew the flower on to the bag. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a single crochet. And then we're going to make 3 double crochets. And the reason I'm using a bigger hook for the flower is to make it more of a fluffy, bigger flower. So it's a single crochet, 3 double crochets. And then we're going to do that again. A single crochet, 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've done that twice now, and we're going to do it 5 times all together. So single crochet and 3 double crochets. Do that total of 5 times. So single and 3 doubles. Okay, I've done that 3 times, so now I'm going to do it 2 more times off camera. Now when you've done that, locate your single crochet and then do a slip stitch into it. Okay, pull your tail so that it's tight. Now you have your 5 petals. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we made. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Put a slip stitch into the second double crochet we made. We're going to chain 3 and put slip stitch in the third double crochet we made. and then we're going to put a slip stitch into that single crochet we made, and then we're going to do that again. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, put a slip stitch in the first double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, put a slip stitch in the next double crochet, chain 3, put a slip stitch in the next double crochet. And then a slip stitch into the single crochet, and continue on like that till you go around the whole flower, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I did the last chain 3 and I slip stitched into the very last double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch into the single crochet. Now we're going to sew this flower onto our bag. The one on the blue purse seemed more fluffier, and I did double the yarn. I put 2 different kinds of yarns together, and that would make it thicker, fluffier. Maybe that's why. But anyway, let's just sew this on with the tail that we left. Just go through it a couple of times, just near the center, because you don't want the petals sewn flat, right? Just go near the center somewhere. And let's see, let's go back in, and then we're going to come out right at the center, because I'm going to put a bead to go right in the center. Oh, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I don't think that darning needle's gonna go through that bead, so what I'll do is I'll change to a metal needle. There we go. Oh, it's nice how some things work out good, right? All right, then we're gonna go through there, put this little yellow bead there in the middle. I'm pulling it tight because I'm trying to fluff up the flower a bit more. Like I said, I think I said at the very beginning of the video that I just winged this little bag, and then when I was asked if I could do a tutorial on it, it's like, yeah, I'll do a tutorial. And it's like, how did I make that bag? But yeah. Okay, so then just sew in your end, or weave in your end inside. Cut your tail. There we go, there's a little flower. I think that looks pretty cute. What do you guys think? Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. And I do have a summer top tutorial that I'm working on at the same time that I was working on this one. So hopefully I'll have that out. I'm hoping to have that out very, very soon. All right, thank you everyone.